Live. Hello. Good morning, beautiful, beautiful ladies. How are you today?
Happy Friday. That's what I have to say.
Woohoo. Thank God it's Friday. So welcome everyone to Forward Friday. We're here every Friday at 9:30 a.m. just giving some love and sharing with the world, some amazing people. I'm Melissa Levine. I have my co-host here, Danny Green. Welcome. And we have an amazing guest today. Her name is Tina Tesch-Myers, an amazing, amazing soul. I'm so excited for you guys to meet her. Right now, just wanted to tell you guys that, hold on here, I'm producer here too on the show. So popping this up, we're going live on StreamYard. So if you want to chat with us, ask us questions, please go to streamyard.com/Facebook, and then we can see your comments and you can ask questions because I'm sure you will have lots of questions for Miss Tina Tesch-Myers. We have an exciting topic today about saving the planet. Yes. Saving our bodies. So, but first off, we do our top of mind. So, Danny, what do you have on top of your beautiful mind this morning?
You know, I love that Save the Planet. My grandson is 3 years old, and I've taught him to save the planet. He goes, "Save the planet." And I know that, someday at my funeral, someone's going to quote me. Save the planet. Mom kept saying that.
Yeah, that's why I was so excited that you two are meeting because
Yeah.
I know how passionate Danny is about it. And well, so on top of my mind, I wanted to throw a little news in. I don't watch the news because it's usually bad, but I do have a good news channel movement on my Instagram page, so it flashes good news for me. But so Chelsea Clinton is launching a new little picture book for kids on how they can start taking care of the environment and our planet. So that is awesome. Thank you, Chelsea Clinton.
Thank you.
And
So Tina, tell us. Well, what were you going to say,
I
Danny?
was just going to say there's several Netflix shows that there's some really broad things that could change in the world that would help the planet immensely. The other thing about one and done weight release, I have a new list of high vibe foods. So I had Mona Smith gave me a free session, and I realized when I eat healthy food that I'm actually raising the vibration of the health of the world. We're stepping into high vibration. And when you eat food that's packaged and marketed, you're just contributing to this lie in our country. So I also save the planet, save my body.
Yeah.
Yes. So anyway, I just want to add the second part of that. But we are so excited. I'm just going to be just like glued to you, Tina.
Oh, thank you.
Everybody get your notebooks out. So Tina, tell us a little bit of background about you first and where you're from, what you're up to in the world.
So, as you can hear, I am definitely an Aussie. And I grew up in Melbourne, and on the coastline, that's where I would always go swimming. So I am an avid lover of the ocean and the sea. So I was a chef in Australia and then a woodworker in Tassie. And from there, I moved to Boulder to study rolfing. And rolfing is, everyone goes, what? It's not roofing or it's not golfing. It's rolfing, where you structurally realign the body. And I closed my door last year because not only because of COVID, but because my passion started dying. And I went, 29 years of rolfing, hey, that's enough. I've had enough, and I've always been a lover of the environment and the ocean, but I also love people because I always want to make people feel the best version of themselves. And how you can start doing it is by just simple little steps. So I love people to look at their health, what they're doing. Are they taking a lot of supplements? And if so, how many containers? And let me fine tune that just down to your DNA, because I'm also a nutritionist. Then I go into what toxic chemicals do you use around? Let's have a look at what you're using and let's find something that we can slowly get out of. And so that whatever you're using is grey water safe. So it's biodegradable for the ocean, for the planet, for the soil, for everything around. And then shifting out of plastic, because I really, really hate plastic. It never ceases to amaze me when I go to whether it's Whole Foods or PCC or Fred Meyer, and people will put 1 carrot in 1 plastic bag. And I'm just going, why? And so just teaching people to go off autopilot and to become aware of what they're doing. And, and where I live here around in Ballard, you walk down the alleyways where I live, and you will see so many garbage bags. I mean, huge, huge bags. And you're going, why? Because we have 3 bins. We have a recycle, we have a compost, and we have a rubbish, you call trash bag container. And you're fined if you put food in it. So why not just get a paper bag that you get from the supermarket? Use that as your liner. Don't, because all you're going to have in there is plastic. Really, there's not going to be anything wet that's going to destroy it. And so if people can just do simple little things to change, that's what I think is important. And simple things like that is, you give your body a voice, you give the earth a voice, and that's what I'm on about. I really have this incredible passion to really get rid of plastic, to really find a great substitute. And we can't get rid of it completely, but let's bring it down to a completely doable level and have it that per month. I was just informed by an amazing woman on the East Coast that we as individuals per month absorb 1 credit card size of plastic in our body, and that's microparticles. And that is horrifying. And then we're starting to wonder what's happening with people. The kids are suddenly now cannot have nuts, but their grandparents could. So you start looking at the deterioration of the DNA. You start looking at how we can help right from the beginning. And sometimes it doesn't have to be big shifts, but it is in the end. After a year, I was told that 1 family in a year can accumulate rubbish of up to 1 ton per family. And even if we can just reduce that by half or 3/4, I mean, for us to step in and start saying, I don't want to buy yogurt in plastic anymore. If I get shampoo, can I get it refilled?
Yeah.
So let's make it that when we have the plastic, just really use it.
Right.
But don't buy it again. If you can, there are so many things, and there's so many things we can't change at the moment. But what I want to do is help people change their home, their health, and how that trickles into the environment is really, really monumental. And just 1 family at a time. I'm not going to bash my head against a conglomerate, but if I can help people see just something different at home, that for me is really, really important.
I love that you're just dedicating your life to this now. Like
Mhm.
that's what you're focusing on. I just love that. Yay. Did you guys see the Super Bowl commercial with the new water that's out that's in a can? So instead of a bottle of water in plastic, it's a bottle of water, like just plain water in a can. Did you see that commercial? It's called like it's called something death, and the commercial was so funny because all these kids are like party drinking, and the mom's just like, whatever, and then she's drinking it. And then at the end, it's just water.
No, I didn't get to see that one. I saw some of the Super Bowl.
Pretty good commercial.
Yeah.
One another thing that I loved that now that I've been following you on Facebook, I'm so happy for Facebook because we've never would have met if it wasn't for that.
Yeah.
So thank you, Facebook user. Thank you for watching. someone posted that they were baking a baked potato in aluminum foil.
No.
Which
Oh,
is just something our parents did it.
I know.
We just don't think about it, but things like that, where it was just like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about that, Tina.
Well, when you see people trying to release weight, I never say lose because that means you've got to find it again. So you want to release it. So when people release weight, they go, okay, how can I, get all the nutrients? And then they bake food in aluminium foil. And I'm going, no, because people don't understand is when you heat it, that aluminum goes into the food. Then you're going to eat it, and it's a heavy metal. Heavy metals love your brain, your liver, and your kidneys, and fat deposits, adipose fat in your body. This is so challenging to get rid of, and it has monumental health risks. And if you do, put some parchment paper between the two so that you don't absorb the aluminium. I often I don't buy pastries or anything, but once I went in and I took a bite from a croissant in one of the little shops here, and I had to spit it out. And I went to the person and I said, do you bake with aluminium trays? And he goes, of course we do. And then I turned around and he had 40, 50 of the trays. And I'm just going, oh, no, I can't. And it's those little things that, you look at. And that's why I'll ask now, do you put parchment paper on? And there are some bakeries that do now, which is really wonderful. But I ask. Otherwise, I won't touch it because I don't want the heavy metal. I don't want it. I've seen what's happened to people, especially my mother, and it's not pretty when you see how the brain deteriorates to such a degree. And my mother was a chef, and she loved aluminium foil. She thought it was the best invention in town. And aluminium has its place for windows, for certain components, but not in my kitchen where I'm going to cook.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Because you were telling us in a post too that is that a sign of being a reason for Alzheimer's and dementia?
I can't say anything related to a disease, but I can say it's a brain disease because it's an illness that I can't talk about because I'm not a specialist. But what I saw my mum go through, and I'm just going, this is not going to happen to me because it's a heavy metal. It'll go to fat. Your brain is 80% fat. And that will go in your bloodstream and go straight because it seeks fat to bind to.
Wow.
And so what the ramifications of that in a health way can be so horrifyingly sad. I can't hear you, Danny.
You're on mute, Danny.
I keep coughing in the morning, so I keep muting myself. One of the things I do at Fred Meyer is I went to the shelf where you can buy like fruits or vegetables for $1 in a little red plastic bag. And then I cut the UPC off the bottom and I restitched the bottom. And so I have 3 of those. So anytime I'm choosing apples or any, fruit or vegetable that isn't in a bag, obviously, then I put it in my little bags. So I never use the plastic at Fred Meyer.
Yeah.
And I never run the heat and the setting on our dishwasher at all. Because you do not want to heat up the plastic. We air dry it. And I make sure the dishwasher is really full. And I always make sure our garbage bags are full. So I'm not using too many plastic bags. And my husband drinks colored water out of plastic bottles. Lord help him. But anyway, so I at least recycle those, get them out of the garbage. I am this little fairy of recycling just from dawn to dusk. I reuse my coffee cup until I drink something out of it that needs to go in the dishwasher, and to save money, time, the planet. I have Mother Earth on my mind all the time.
Yeah. And it's just cleaning up whenever I go to the beach in Australia. I always bring things back. And so people will see it and then people start doing it.
Yeah.
And we don't have that much litter on the beach coast where I grew up and even now. And so that's always inspiring to see that. And it's just like, just do simple little things, you know. And I get horrified when I go to Costco and I see just mountains and mountains of plastic water.
I know.
And then plastic within the plastic. And I'm going, oh, my favorite naturalist is David Attenborough. And I love this man. And he basically, you know, my son follows him, and he basically says, well, we've really stuffed the planet. Even in the last 10 years, it's really deteriorated. And so, you know, Joaquin, my son, says, well, you really screwed it for our generation. And I said, that's why we're changing now. There's always time to change. There's always time to do goodness. And it's possible. It really is.
So what, for people watching, what are your top 3 tips on what you can do?
Okay, I would absolutely go to Target, and there you can buy plant-based plastic, like cling wrap, freezer bags, not garbage bags, but some large bags, and it's all plant-based.
Yeah.
That's one. Buy parchment paper. If you have to have aluminium cooking your fish or your cookies or whatever, because it's cleaner and easier, put parchment paper between, really. And when you go shopping, bring your own bags. And even if you have in your trolley, you put your fruits and vegetables in there, it's okay if they touch each other. They don't have to have plastic. And you're going to take them home and wash and clean them anyway. And so it's fine. You know, that's, you know, people at Whole Foods where I buy my lamb and that, they all know me as, oh, no plastic for her. No plastic. This is Tina. No plastic girl.
Okay, tell me number 2 again, because I have a bad memory.
Number 2
was
is
parchment.
Parchment paper.
Parchment. Thank you, guys.
Yeah, parchment paper. And number 3 is plastic at home, but also really look at what you are cleaning your house with. Is it grey water safe? From your windows to your counters, and look at the water that comes out of your tap. There's a great site that you can go to. It's it's a government site, and it'll tell you exactly what's coming out of your water. If you cannot find what's going in your water, I can't remember the EWG something.com. I'll tell it to you later, and then you can post it. And that can tell you everything that's in your water. For me, it's just get a system to clean your water from your tap so that you can do your own water. I mean, I don't care the water that goes in the toilet or the dishwasher. I mean, seriously, I don't care. But I do care the water I clean and wash myself with and drink. And so they would be the really big takeaways. Really look at that.
So is there something you can attach to your shower then?
Yeah.
Okay. Where do you get something like that?
You can get rid of the chlorine. There's great filters that you can buy. But if you do that, make sure you have a backup. And just know that filter for a shower may only last you 3-4 months on a good time. Okay, but at least don't absorb the chlorine, which is like a mustard gas from World War I, into your brain and into your system. A lot of people have skin issues, and a lot of it is the chlorine. It's not the eczema, but it's the chlorine. So I tell women, buy those fabulous, hideously ugly plastic gloves or latex gloves and do the dishes if you have to, just to protect your hands, that you don't absorb the hot chlorine in your system. They're just some little things, but they're things that can really help your health and the planet. Less plastic.
Woohoo. So what inspired you to stop doing the rolfing and do this? Like, or has it just been on your minds forever and then you
No,
do it?
it's more when I started realizing when I first came to America and I turned the tap on in Boulder, Colorado, and just the chlorine, I nearly keeled over. And I went, I feel like I'm living back in Cairo because I used to live in Egypt, in Africa. And it was the tap, it was just pure chlorine. And I'd never had that. And I'm just going, this is wild. And so that would always be in the back of my head. And then one day I'm just going, I don't feel good inside. And I couldn't, I eat really well, or as best as I can. I mean, of course, we have sometimes some shitty food. Who doesn't? And, but, I started realizing it's the water. And then when I filtered my water and put it through a machine to give me different waters, it was amazing, the difference. And I had it in my shower, and I just had it as a loaner. And I asked my son, would you go in and have a shower? Because he would never get in the shower. And he closed the door, and I could hear it running. And I'm just going, yeah, he better be in the shower and not just having it running. And I go back in the kitchen, and he comes running in. And my gorgeous boy is from Guatemala because I adopt my children. And Joaquin said to me, goes, Mama, we're buying this. And I go, oh, no, I wasn't counting on that, mate. I really was not wanting that to happen. And he goes, for the first time, the water doesn't burn me.
Wow.
And I looked at him and I go, what? And he would say that in the bath, but I thought he meant burning hot, hot water. And so I'd always try and make it cold, and he'd put his foot, and burning. I didn't associate the water chemicals burning his body.
Oh my goodness.
So of course I had to get this water filtering for the shower, and I love it. It is the best investment I ever did. That and my filtering on my counter. I put my life has really changed. And then it's less plastic. You do everything else with it, and it is phenomenal.
Mm-hmm.
You feel healthier. You feel better inside.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Your body's not absorbing all the chlorine and everything in it, and so then your hair gets different, your skin gets different, and you're not. I don't like plastic water, so I've never bought it. But Joaquin goes, "Can I have a drink?" And I go, "What is it all in?" And he goes, "Plastic." And I go, "Right. What's my answer?" So you'll find something in, glass, which will either be an apple juice or a kombucha. I said, "Yep, you can have that. Nothing in plastic." So yeah. So he's aware of it, and the family is, and my husband is phenomenal. He supports everything I do, and he can see also because he grew up in Niagara Falls, and he loves the water. He was a swimmer, like I was a swimmer, and we both have a deep love to help the environment and help the animals.
That's so awesome that you have that passion together.
We do, actually. It's really lovely.
Danny,
do you have any questions down there? I keep butting in, and I
know. I think I did have one. Oh yeah. So, how about those silicone mats? Are those okay? Like I put the silicone mats. They're plastic, kind of rubber.
Yeah, I don't know enough about them, but they give me the heebie-jeebies.
Do they? Yeah.
They I had a few silicone ice dish trays, and I can't do it. There's something about it I don't know enough about.
Okay, so it's just too manufactured for you. Yeah.
Just they really do give me the heebie-jeebies. I don't know why. That's just personal.
Well, yeah, and I muscle test to discern yes or no about things. So about nutrients and stuff. So I'm just gonna take a moment to muscle test about my silicone mats.
Yeah, I do. Sometimes it gives you the answer you don't want.
So really quick, if you have like a bar, like a protein bar or something, it comes in that little packaging. Is that it looks kind of plasticky, aluminy. Is that okay?
Yeah. And down to all of the packaging, I'm not 100%. I try and avoid as much. I know they go, it's clean, but for me, it's still really super processed.
Yeah.
I'd much rather just get an apple and a handful of nuts.
Yeah.
Or some dried fruit.
Yeah.
I find those bars are so sweet. They have so much sugar in it, hidden sugar. And then I'm just going, this is really expensive for what I'm getting. And some of them are great. Some bars, I think Luna is so clean. They have 3 or 4 ingredients. And I look and I go, I can make this at home. But it's just, if you need something, if I have to go and get something fast, I'll always grab an apple and a bit of cheese or something that I know the protein and the sugars will balance and be not so fast absorbed into my system. And I love nuts. I think nuts are one of my passions, really one of my passions.
Have you seen what are the ones that you shell? Oh, pistachios. Have you seen now they have pistachios in like all sorts of like salt and vinegar, like potato chips, salt and vinegar and barbecue and
then I'll be looking at the packaging. What is all the packaging it's coming in? And I get that at home and just do it myself.
Oh, so you buy them straight up and then make them yourself. Okay, that's some good advice. Woohoo!
Really good advice.
We only have a few minutes left. Really quick, what is some more? So I put your email in there. What is the best way people can reach you, Tina?
It's either email or Facebook, and I'm in LinkedIn, on both. And if they do reach out and they've been watching this, please just state that you saw me on this show. So I have a reference of how I can, because my amazing company is called Move Me, and I want to move people. I do. I want to move them.
So what is your website address?
Yeah, at Tina Tesch-Myers on both, right? On both.
It's on Tina Tesch-Myers in both Facebook and LinkedIn. And I'm just very new. I'm getting my daughters coming in from South Carolina. We're doing a website. So we'll have that in the next month.
Oh, good for you. Good for you. Oh, so nice. Your daughter's helping you.
She's doing it.
Yeah. Oh, doing it. Yes. And that's even better.
Yeah. She adopted me when she was 16. So I said, okay, through college, you're going to help us with this.
Yeah, good.
Nice. That's so awesome. Thank you, Tina, so much for joining us. We still have 2 minutes left. Danny,
I want to tell you some of the stories. Like when my sister got married in Portland, Oregon, I literally, and they had pop cans all over the table. I literally, in my, maid of honor dress, was pulling all the pop cans into our trunk to recycle them. So it's been a long time that I've been doing this. Another thing is I read one, or I listened to this story once. In England, there was a really famous popular show, and everyone would go fill up their teapots so they could have their tea during this show. And the Department of Energy said, we have to buy energy from another country for that day of the week because you all are making your tea. So at least only put the amount in your teapot that you could use for your tea for the show, and we won't have to buy energy from another country. Now that's what I'm saying. So I always minimize everything I do, because my little minimizing the use of water, the use of electricity, and everything is making a difference. So I just want to tell everyone, everything you do will make a difference. So please make a difference.
Yeah, please. Really.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, thank you everyone for watching. Next week we have Leilani Wells. I know you know Leilani, Tina. She is an awesome business coach who helps you get seen, get more visibility in your business. So everyone have an amazing weekend. Go to Target, get some plant-based products, get some water in a can. And
recycle.
Tina. And if you would like to be a guest on the show, please click the link. We'd love to have you and share your superpower, your vision for changing the world. Bye, everyone.
Yeah, bye everyone.
Namaste.
Forging forward.